Well guys, I hadn't put out a new video in a while, so I hadn't been doing a whole lot, but I have been gathering parts up. You know, I've been taking the oil pan off this old black car that was all smashed up. I bought me a new Canton oil pan for it here. It's a really nice pan. I got my bolts here I cleaned up. I got me enough bolts for it, but anyway, this pan, I got a real nice pickup that come with it. That's the pickup that matches the pan. It's a nice screen welded on the bottom. And also, inside my pan, down in here, there's a trap door. And what that trap door does is the pickup's down in here. And when you take off, that trap door lets oil go back here and get trapped where the pickup is. And also, when you brake, this trap door it closes, it won't go that way, and it holds your oil at the pickup and won't let it all fly forward. So that little trap door's neat in there. Anyway, I got me a nice new Canton oil pan for my car, and I didn't forget about my little engine either. I got me a set of headers for it down here. They are 1 3/4 inch tubes, primaries, and those ought to work really good just to put on there for like dyno headers. They've only got a 2.5 inch where they all meet here. I can't think of what it's called, but I think I'll put it 2.5 into a 3, a little band here, and then have a 3-inch pipe going off of that. But anyway, I've got my headers, and I cleaned up my adapter plates. They're numbered for each cylinder. Ray Baker made these, and they're ported on the inside. When you put them on the cylinder they go on, and run your fingers in there, they match up really well, and they transition to your headers, and they fit my headers perfect. So it'll be nice to get these extensions back on there with a set of headers. And I got my valve cover gaskets, and I'm getting ready to seal the motor completely off. Put my carburetor on it and plug wires. I need plug wires and a starter is all I got left to try to get it cranked. And then, like I said, I got me a new oil pan for my old car, and I need to get a gasket for it. But I hadn't done a whole lot lately, but I have been gathering up parts and cleaning things. I put my intake gasket on and cleaned all the head and everything up before I put it on, and been cleaning the surfaces where these plates bolt on. And just gathering up parts and cleaning up nuts and bolts and stuff like that. And I also fixed me a little socket on my thing here where I can just hook the drill up to it, and it primes real easy now. So I can spin that thing up to 30 or 40 pounds in just a second or two there now. So I got my oil pressure back when I found that bad lifter. If I hadn't went around squirting that old oil gun down in the little holes in the rocker arms, I'd never found that bad lifter. I got to that one rocker arm, and it kept taking oil, and I thought, well, that oil's going somewhere. And I lifted this intake up, and there was a big puddle coming out of that one lifter. So I got my oil pressure back now, so I'm not afraid to fire it up. But I'll tell you what I'm going to do, though. I don't really like those lifters that's in it. They've evidently used them out of a V8 because there was extras of them, so I'm sure they're used. And I think this little motor deserves a brand new set of solid roller rockers. I mean, not rockers, but solid roller lifters, and a new set of push rods, one piece without the balls on the ends. And then I need to get these heads, all the springs and retainers and seals and seats and everything just checked on them. But it might cost me about $1,000 to do all that, but this little motor is well worth that. But I'm at least going to fire it up the way it is and let it run for a minute or so. I also done something else here. You see, there's my NASCAR steering wheel from back in the 60s or 70s. I got it with the engine. Man, that's a nice steering wheel. But it's got the little quick release pin, and you know, you got to put it on there and put the pin in and pop it out to take it off. Right here's my old steering wheel. I just pulled it off. I just got it out of my car there, so you ain't got no steering wheel in it. And I have to I have to cut the threads off of this shaft right here because I got a little old adapter hub that I got to put on there and weld that my steering wheel fits on. And if I leave those threads on there, it makes my steering wheel stick up too high and it don't look good. Plus it's too close. So if I cut those threads off, that'll knock an inch off of this. The steering wheel will be closer. I can cut about an inch off of this thing, and I don't need this end here. And I'll weld that on. And it fits right down in my dang steering wheel here, my quick release. There's 1 or 2 grooves it fits in better. There we go. But yeah, it fits in there, and you put the pin in it, and got a quick release steering wheel from back in the day. But I'll be glad to finish that up. I've got a welder. I just have to cut that shaft off with a hacksaw or some kind of cutting blade. And then I got to cut this end off this adapter right here. I don't need this bottom end here. I didn't got it beat up where I was holding it pliers and stuff anyway. I know that I didn't need it. But I got to cut it off right here, even with the splines on it there. But anyway, I'll have me a good steering wheel in my old car too. And also my oil pans are sitting there. I still got to get a gasket for it, and I got to get under there. I've got a windage tray on this thing, and that windage tray is glued. It's got a gasket on each side of it, and it was glued to the motor, glued to the oil pan, glued everywhere it can be glued. And I'm gonna have to get like a putty knife or something and go between the gasket and the pan. And then I gotta go between the gasket and the windage tray to get all that junk out of there. It's just all glued in a big glob. But I've got plenty to do right now. I gotta get that pan on, get that steering wheel cut off, shaft cut off, new wheel put on. Gotta get my little engine back there fired up. Plus I got motorcycles and things I'm wanting to get going. It's gonna be a real busy summer. I got me a feeler gauge here, and I got through adjusting all my valves on this little V6. I set them all on 18 cold. That should be safe with these aluminum heads. If it grows, it won't grow no more than maybe 22 to 24. And I don't want to take no chance of a valve closing or sticking shut and burning up, so I didn't want to put it really tight. So I think 18's okay on that. So I'm getting ready to put my intake on. I've already got my gasket sealed on. I've got to go around my water ports with some silicone. I got to build my china walls up. And I'm going to drop that intake on there and tighten it down, snug it down. And I've got my distributor here. I'm going to have to take that cap off. It's an odd fire distributor, and the reluctor wheel on it, there's 6 notches or 6 little humps sticking out on it, and they're 2 of them are close, then there's a wide gap, then 2 close, then a wide gap, where it's got that odd firing order. I've got to set that thing. I've got my balancer set here on 34 degrees before top dead center, because that distributor's locked out at 34 degrees. So I should be able to drop it right in, point toward the number 1 cylinder on the reluctor wheel, right on straight on it. And I need to have it to where the next one in rotation is a wide gap, because it goes from number 1 to number 6. It goes 150 degrees, and I need to set it, the distributor, where the next one that fires after the one it's on is the wide gap. So after I get that intake and distributor on there, I got something else in the mail. I'm still gathering parts. Let me see if I can open up this box here. See, I've got my box in here that I already had, that digital box. But I got me another one here last week. It's part number 6446. That is the original box for the Odd Fire V6. And the guy I got it off of, I talked to him for a long time. He said it's a good working box. I told him I could fix it if anything was wrong with it, but he said, no, that's a good box, buddy. So there's my box. I got my headers down here in a crate. Even though they got the stock pattern, I'm gonna still use my adapter plates, so they'll be ported and it matches up good. And I still need to buy a good carburetor. I hadn't mentioned nothing. I've got a carburetor to put on it, but I think I'll get a 850 competition double pumper with the big annular boosters, so it'll be real crisp off, the throttle. So I'm gonna buy a new 850 for it, and I got to get a good starter, a good high torque starter. So there's two items that's gonna cost me a little bit. Uncle Sam should send me my money in the next few weeks. I'll get that carburetor and a good starter, and plug this everything back up, and we'll try to crank it. And if it runs good, I guess I'll take it to the machine shop and get that a head job done, new valve springs, retainers, the whole 9 yards, new valve seats or seals or whatever it might need, and take them heads up there. And also I'm gonna get me a new set of roller lifters. I'll ask a machinist, he's a drag racer, and we'll ask him what lifters he would put in it. And I'm also, these old push rods from back in the day have the ball on the end of them. They're hollow tube with a ball with a hole in it. I'm gonna get me some one-piece push rods for it, something that can't come apart. And but anyway, if it fires up and runs pretty good, I'm gonna go ahead and sink $1 or $2 in it, and then like I said, I'm gonna look out for a light body. I'm not gonna put it in no 3,500 pound car. It's going in a 2,500 pound car or less, and we'll have a little screaming SOB here one day, I hope. All right, see you guys.